All right, let's get this party started. Today we are taking off from Sydney and we are going to Stephenville. Once again, still in Nova Scotia today. Another short, probably around an hour flight. Nothing too special, but gets us a little bit closer to our Atlantic crossing and a little bit closer to Europe. So just keep pushing eastward. We're surprisingly making good time in this trip, despite the fact we're doing these couple short legs. They'll start getting a little bit longer as we progress here. But yeah, that's just another short one today. We are going to take off. Let's see. What runway are we taking off from? Let's take a look at our briefing. They're saying runway 24. Where's runway 24? Right here. Yeah. All right, so who's close? Who's close? That's kind of far. I mean, 25 is not bad. Yeah, we'll go there. Why not? That's a pretty short shot right on over, it looks like. All right, we'll go with that. We can start there. Just realized I don't know where my controller is. Kind of necessary. Here we go. Got it. Well, looks like we're going to have some weather on our hands. That's fine with me. I'm not scared of a little weather. All right. Let's open up our VAMs. Let's get this baby up and running. Take off our chocks, cover as protectors, registration shadow, and turn on external power. We're also going to put on our headphones and activate noise reduction. Really, the headphones is just to get them off of the dashboard. It drives me crazy. We are going to switch our nav screen over here. We're going to switch this screen to MFD. We are going to go to Utilities, and we are going to go to Checklists. Before engine start, most of these are already done. I think the only thing we have to do is Gen 1 and Gen 2. All right, yep, looks like it. So we're looking at... So I just want to make sure you guys could actually see that. So we're looking at pre-flight inspection done, doors are latched, parking brake is working, BAT 1 and 2 is on, Gen 1 and 2 is on, external GPU is on. FedEx channel A, that's what I was just asking to make sure that we had this displayed here, and we do. Engine start, strobe lights on. Check. CAS messages look good, those are things we expect to see at this point. Thrust lever is idle. Brakes are holding. Engine knob to run. All right, it says here, verify fuel pump on. Advisory, this message does not show up here. Oh, it does show up. That's the first I've ever seen that. That's interesting. Well then. Yoink. Trying to remember how we fixed that. I think I just gotta cycle this once. No? This is the first time I've ever seen this. This is crazy. Oh, verify it is displayed. Oh my god, I'm dumb. I gotta learn how to read, everybody. All right, so it is displayed. I've only started displaying 100 times. You think I would know? All right, so we're good there. It is on. It is being displayed as it should be. Verify engine start, bat temp, and engine start volts messages are not displayed. Those are the ones I don't want to see, and they are not there. So we are good to go on both of those. So check, check, check. Now we hit the engine start button. Check. All right, instruments look good. Mainly just want to verify that we are getting positive N1 here, and we are. All right, so we're good. EIS is normal. Engine IPS, what's the temperature? 5 degrees Celsius. I'm going to say yes. Engine, at least. ECS control panel is set. That's basically like the internal temperature of the cabin, like, you know, like air conditioning and heating. So we don't really need to do anything with that. External GPU turned itself off, which is nice that it does that for us. Oxygen master switch is on. Normally, we would have to either get out of the plane and take that off ourselves or radio out to the crewman out. Since this guy's sitting right here, I probably just would have radioed out to him and asked him to do it for me. All right, avionics initialization. That's done on our MFD, which is our middle screen here. All right, we're going to go to utilities. We're going to go to initialization and do a couple of quick system checks. All right, go back, initialize our fuel. Let's take a quick look at our flight plan. It looks like our block fuel should be 827 pounds for this particular flight. Where we got us at? I think it's at 998. They got us, well, they're giving us a little extra there. So we're going to go 827. These get close to 827, 820. We'll go 840 if we have to. I don't care. That's enough. A little extra. Okay, we'll sync that with our computer. Weights and balances are basically an empty weight plus me. Flight plan. All right, so let's actually go home real quick and load up our plan we made in SimBrief. Get that baby imported, so that way we don't have to put all this in by hand. Not that it's a humongous flight plan today. Nonetheless, saves us some time, some energy. I'll take it. All right, they're telling us they're automatically choosing ILS 27. I'm fine with that. I'm just telling me here. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what we had set up to land anyways. Let's just go back. I want to make sure that I have this set here, which is preview on, and just show on map. Okay, because that shows us our approach. And then we can actually go here and we can kind of preview each one of these transition vectors. All right, so we should be flying kind of northeast, northwest. I don't even know how I'm coming in here. Where's my map? Yeah, it looks like we're flying north. Okay, so we're doing like northeast. Okay. Now I got my directions. So that's not horrible. Yeah, we're going to go with the EBDEX transition. All right, this FAF waypoint here, I'm going to put in a quick speed constraint for our auto throttle. We're going to tell it to not go any faster than 100 knots. That keeps us slow enough to land, but keeps us fast enough to fight any wind that might be trying to blow us off the runway. We're going to make the waypoint right before that 140 knots, and that just slows us down enough to make sure we can set our first set of flaps. Excuse me, and also set our landing gear down. That's pretty much all I ever do for auto throttle. It pretty much takes care of it, kind of does its own thing on its own. That's all we need to do with our flight plan. That's pretty much all of that. That's our last thing on our initialization, so that's done. So we can now come back here, accept that. Caps pins are removed and stowed. What those are is they're like little pins that hang from these emergency exit handles and also from the caps handles here. That's basically the emergency parachute system up above us there. If you didn't know, this jet is equipped with a parachute. Unfortunately, this particular sim doesn't work in this particular sim. It does in 2024, but not in 2020. But yeah, that's the handle you would pull if you were in an emergency and instantly needed to throw your parachute for the plane. All right. What's next? Take a look at our checklist. Passengers are briefed. Seatbelts are secured. Bleed switch. That's our fresh air switch. Pitot heat airflow. There it is. All right, before taxi, comm and nav GPS set. That's done. That gets done automatically when we load our flight plan. ATS clearance. Bring this over so you guys can see what we're doing. All right. All right, looks like we're going to have to wait until we're in the air to get IFR clearance, which is our instrument flight plan clearance, which is standard in these smaller airports. It's not really a big deal. So we're just going to announce taxi.
Charlie Yankee, Quebec Yankee Traffic Vision, Jet November 1 Victor 1 Bravo Echo is taxiing to runway 24.
All right. Now we're ready to go. Altimeter is set, transponder is set. Heading we will set when we get to the runway. Flight controls are free and correct. Trim is not at 6 degrees, but it will be. Ha ha ha. Lock. Why aren't you locking, young sir? There we go. All right. 6 degrees. Yeah. Check. Flaps are at 50%. I just push them down. They should be green any second now. There they go. Check. Electric roll trim. That's this guy right here. He's set. Check. Shake off go around button is pushed. And you see these TOs pop up there. That's basically your visual feedback that is on. That's just basically telling the airplane we want takeoff thrust. Cast switches look good. And seats at their upright full position. This parking brake is released. Now it's released. Brakes are good. All right, let's get out of here. Probably should have done a pushback, but we'll make this work. This guy might not survive, but we can still make this work. This thing turns on a dime, so he might actually be fine. Look at that. My mind's telling me to go all the way over there when this is right here. This would be runway 24. Oops. A little bit faster. It's a little bit more pumped just to get us straighter. Perfect. All right, putting on our parking brake. All right, landing lights are on. Check. Probe heat switch is on. Engine is on. Wing IPS should be on. Windshield IPS is also going to be on. Gas messages are good. Trim and flaps are good. We're ready to go. All right. Parking brake is on, so we're going to go full throttle here. This gives us a nice, steady takeoff thrust. All right. We're also going to announce we are departing east.
Charlie Yankee Quebec Yankee Traffic Vision Jet November 1 Victor 1 Bravo Echo taking off runway 24 departure to the east.
All right, we got roll. Flaps are up. Gear is up. Oh, you know, I never set an altimeter or altitude. Autopilot is on. FLC is on. We're bringing that up to 7,000 feet to begin with. We're also going to request flight following now.
Victor 1 Bravo Echo is type vision jet SF 51 miles southwest of Charlie Yankee Quebec Yankee 2,100 feet. Request flight following. Vision jet November 1 Victor 1 Bravo Echo Moncton Center. Squawk 7341. Squawk 7341 Vision jet 1 Bravo.
All right, I'm just turning the plane, changing its heading so that we get back closer to our flight plan here. As you can see over here, just bring that up full screen. There we go. So we're just trying to fly it back, getting close to this line here. And when we get close to it, you'll see this will change from heading to FMS as it catches us, and then GPS will kind of take control of the flight. All right, we're going to request IFR clearance. Now that we have flight following and they have us on radar.
Vision jet November 1 Victor 1 Bravo Echo is cleared to Charlie Yankee Juliet Tango Airport as filed. Squawk 7341. Vision jet November 1 Victor 1 Bravo Echo cleared to Charlie Yankee Juliet Tango Airport as filed. Squawk 7341. Vision jet 1 Bravo Echo readback correct. Radar contact 5,800 feet. Altimeter 29.80. Continue to Kinnip turning and following heading 015. Proceed on course climb and maintain 9,000 feet.
All right. They want us to climb to 9,000 feet. We're going to go way higher than that. We're going to go up to flight level 270. We're going to request that here in a second. The reason we're going that high is this is a way more efficient altitude for the plane to fly in. We burn way less fuel flying that high than we do flying at like 9,000, 10,000 feet.
Vision jet 1 Bravo Echo climb and maintain 9,000 feet. Expect flight level 190.
Oh, I see what happened. Like, why did it stop?
Vision Jet 1 Bravo Echo, did you hear my last transmission?
I did. I was just trying to figure out why we weren't climbing anymore. Because we got a little too close to 7,000 feet before we got to 9,000 feet. All right.
Vision Jet 1 Bravo Echo, climb and maintain flight level 180.
Let's do that.
Climb and maintain flight level 180. Vision Jet 1 Bravo Echo.
We're going to go 180. We're actually going to keep going up. This should be 280.
Center Vision Jet 1 Bravo
Oh,
Echo.
290. I don't know why we went that high. I don't need to go that high. I'm so used to flying at 290. I'm just like, yeah, just go all the way up.
Bravo Echo, climb and maintain flight
That's
level
fine.
180.
We can ask. We can bring it back down.
Climb and maintain flight level 180.
All right.
Flight level 290. Vision Jet 1 Bravo Echo.
270. I think is where we're gonna go. 222. So decrease by 2. Oh gosh.
Vision Jet 1 Bravo Echo.
Double clicked.
Request flight level 250.
Dying here.
Vision Jet 1 Bravo Echo, climb and maintain flight level 180. Expect flight level 250. Climb and maintain flight level 180. Expect flight level
There
250.
you go. 270. Set in on our altitude selector. So we are going to climb there no matter what's going on here with me and ATC. All right, 250. Altitude increase by 2.
Moncton Center Vision Jet.
There we go. And now we're going to fly to the
Flight
correct.
level 270.
Oh my gosh. This mouse is killing me.
Vision Jet 1 Bravo Echo, climb and maintain flight level 180. Expect flight level 270.
All right, we're set for flight level 270. As you guys get a better look at the scenery out here. It's unfortunately a very cloudy day, so all you see is clouds. Personally, I kind of like that view, but it's not for everybody.
Climb and maintain flight level 180. Expect flight level 270. Vision Jet 1 Bravo Echo.
Hey, Ethan Erickson, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Definitely appreciate you guys being here on TikTok. I'm not a real pilot. No, I've actually just learned everything from just flying in sims way too much, to be honest. Way too much. And just basically what happened is every time I'd fly a plane, I noticed something different inside of the plane that I'd be like, I wonder what that does. I wonder what that does. I wonder what that is. And I would just keep doing research on what that particular thing was I would see. And that's kind of what taught me how to fly this plane. I'm just a big nerd, basically. Oh, I think you should, man. Definitely. Get your leisure license. It's hard work from everything I've seen, but I mean, why not if you can? I would love to be doing this in real life, to be honest. That's the goal, is to this year get my first discovery flight. But yeah, I'm definitely not trying to make a career out of it, but I would definitely like to be able to have my private pilot's license to be able to fly me the fam around, you know? All right, we're still good for that 270. We set our altimeter setting to 290. We knew they were going to step us up like this, so we just set it there to forget it. I mean, if price wasn't a thing, I would probably go for the not the SF50 here, because that's way too expensive, to be honest. And the other Cirrus plane there, I can't think of the name of it right now, but big fan of Cirrus, big fan of the Garmin G3000, so that's probably where I would go. But if we're being like real serious with price and all, I'd get the cheapest Cessna I could find. Again, just because, you know, I already know the controls of a Cessna. For the most part, you know, I mean, not by any means as well as I would if I went to flight school, of course, right? But but yeah, that's all. It'd be something familiar, you know. And I think most all flight schools train on Cessnas, so it would just be a very easy transition, I would feel like. And that way you can use your own plane too while you're training, you know. Very cloudy day today. Jeez. All right, we are past our transition altitude of 18,000 feet, so we're going to switch a barometer from local to standard. Again, that's just because the air gets way thinner up here, so that kind of that air pressure no longer plays as much of a role. Like I said, it's supposed to be a short flight today, so I think, see, landing, you look up here at the top here, we've got like a whole bunch of really useful information. This is our ground speed. This is the direction we're pointed in. This is the direction that we want to be tracking. This is the estimated time to our next waypoint here. I think, yeah, pretty much. And then this is the distance to our next waypoint. So, and it also tells you the estimated time of arrival to, I want to say, our approach. And then landing time is around 8:15 UTC. 18 UTC. So, it's 17:40 now, so we don't have too much longer in our flight. Ooh, Gulfstream G Series, that's a good choice. That's definitely a good choice. That's a pretty bird. You get a heck of a, you get some crazy range out of that baby too, I want to say. Probably the SF50 here, the Vision Jet, to be honest. I know a lot of people rag on it hard. But for me, I think it's great. I mean, it's so user-friendly. The Garmin G3000 interface is so user-friendly, so easy to pick up and learn. This plane has got crazy safety features. They don't show it here in the sim, but along with the parachute that it has that brings the whole plane down, it has an auto landing feature as well. So if you're in an emergency, you can literally hit this button. It automatically picks the nearest airport to you. It radios into ATC, does like a lot of the heavy lifting in an emergency, and gets you, and literally will auto land the plane on the runway for you. So for me, like, that's a big thing for me, just having all those kinds of safety features in this plane. Plus it's a jet, right? So like, I want to say it cruises at 300 knots, which is super fast for private aircraft. That's crazy. No way. Oh man, see, I've seen a couple of videos where people have like had to use like the parachute and stuff. I've never seen the emergency landing in use though. It's pretty neat. I did see like a video, I want to say, on another person's channel where Cirrus was basically giving them a tour of the Cirrus jet, and they were showing, and they actually gave them they actually did one of those landings, and it was pretty darn smooth and pretty neat to watch. But yeah, that's a big deal for me. It's one of those things where once it's implemented in planes, you're kind of like, why don't all airplanes have this, you know? Not that like, yeah, your pilot should be, you know, knowledgeable enough to keep the plane in the air, and you should be doing, of course, maintenance checks to make sure that things don't fail in the air. That's common sense, but at the same time, it's nice to have that backup, because shit happens. That's crazy. Perfect. All right. Kind of stuck in these clouds, which kind of sucks. Trying to think, trying to see where we end up here when we get to flight level 270. If we're still stuck in this cloud layer, I might bump us up a few more 10. Yeah, I might, just because this sucks. And it's quite the icing hazard. Yep. All right. So let's go to 90 and see what that looks like.
Moncton Center Vision Jet 1 Bravo Echo. Request flight level 290. Vision Jet 1 Bravo Echo climb and maintain flight level 290.
Let me get that set. Good FLC. Flight level change selected.
Level 290 Vision Jet 1 Bravo Echo.
So we are flying today from Sydney to Stephenville. Both are in Nova Scotia in Canada. Probably not, both very small towns, I'm sure, or at least their airports are very small. But yeah, just trying to get us a little bit closer to Greenland before we make our final flight across the Atlantic there. Just because try to keep our flights under like 3 hours, just for my own personal time's sake. But we're getting there. We're almost agreed. This, I think I said this last stream too, but I was wrong. But I think this is our last North American leg. I believe our next leg gets us from Canada into Greenland. Got a quick ban of bot on Twitch here. There we go. However, we do, speaking of that, by the way, we do viewer request flights. So if there's somewhere you want to see us fly to, drop it in chat, leave me a DM, let me know. I'd love to throw it on the schedule. Geez, looks like we had 290. We're stuck in this cloud layer. I don't really want to go much higher.
132.3 Vision Jet 1 Bravo Echo. Goodbye.
I've been live streaming too long, actually. Probably maybe a couple months. Maybe. Not even. Yeah, we started right before Christmas, I want to say. For a long time, I was just doing... I would kind of live stream a flight through TikTok, basically, or I would say, sorry, through Twitch, but I would do it directly from the console. I wouldn't there was no camera, no nothing. And then basically I would take that footage and just post that to TikTok. It's all sped up and, just super sped up through the flight kind of a thing. And then from there, I've been kind of slowly upgrading and started doing lives of the flights instead. Although I will say that the sped up versions of the flights get way more attention, which is fair. You get to see the whole flight in 10 minutes. But yeah, I just thought this would be a cool little thing to add. Oh, nice, man. Nice. How long have you been live streaming for?
Descend and maintain flight level 210 Vision Jet 1 Bravo Echo.
Okay, nice, nice. It's definitely a labor of love, that's for sure. Oh, nice, nice, very nice. I try to do multi streams. Like I think right now we're on Twitch and TikTok. But I tried doing YouTube and Facebook the other day, and at the same time, and it just about crashed my entire system. So it looks like TikTok and Twitch is as far as I can go. I do post my VODs to YouTube though. But I mainly just do this for fun, to be honest. Like I said, this is when I first started doing the flight videos, it was just something to do with my spare time because I was flying anyways, kind of a thing. So exact same thing as my TikTok. Vectors and vibes. I'm vectors and vibes everywhere. How about you? Are you Ethan Erickson everywhere as well? Let's give you a quick shout out. Quick look at the inside. All right, looks like we should be getting close to our approach, I want to say.
Vision Jet 1 Bravo Echo, descend and maintain 11,000 feet.
Yep, sounds like it. All right, it's 11,000 feet.
Vision Jet 1 Bravo Echo, acknowledge last transmission.
Oh, sorry, ATC. I thought I did.
Maintain 11,000 feet. Vision Jet 1 Bravo Echo.
That trigger sometimes lags on me. 11,000 feet. That's where we're going. 11,000 feet. 9. I went too far. There you go. 11,000 feet. Looks like well, we're still like 50 nautical miles away from Emble, which is still 25 miles away from Ebdex, so we still got a little bit. Looks like they're just trying to get us low a little bit early here. Oh no, I totally understand. Totally understand. Eric's won 2008. Let's give you a quick. I'll give you a shout out right now. Eric's won 2008. Hey! Hey, there he is. Oh, the channel you were shouting out does not exist. What are you talking about? He's right here in front of me, sir. What are you talking about? Try again. To make sure I'm spelling everything right. Yeah, there we go. That took me 700 years. Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for chatting with me. I think it's lonely in these rooms. I always complain when they bring me down this low so early because it burns like so much extra fuel. But the view is really nice. Believe it or not, I'm using the simplest one in the world. The Xbox controller. That's it, basically. Yeah, I got the Xbox controller. I got a mouse and a keyboard. Mouse I use for like wheel things, like the altitude knob, right? That's pretty much all I use the mouse for, is for that. And then keyboard is pretty much all of my autopilot buttons. So like autopilot master, altimeter or altitude hold, heading hold, nav hold, flight level change, approach hold, auto throttle, takeoff go around button, all that stuff. Just to like make it a little bit easier. Just because like when you're trying to hunt for all that stuff with a mouse, like during like when you're actually approaching a runway and you're just sitting here like messing around with your autopilot stuff like this, it's just, you're asking to die. Yeah, see, this is quite the view from down here. We're at 11,000 feet. We are, but oh, we're right past. There we go. Transition altitude, so that might be why they're still haven't said anything yet. They weren't complaining. Yeah, there we go. I had a feeling.
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet Vision Jet 1 Bravo Echo. Vision Jet 1 Bravo Echo.
Oops.
Contact Gander Center.
Whoops.
134.6. Good day.
There we go.
134.6.
Take over that handoff real quick.
Goodbye.
Oh my god, for real. They really do need to add some realistic crash physics. Have you seen some of those videos of just planes bouncing off the ground and bouncing off of buildings? I mean, to be fair, like, I feel like that's what kind of made me fall in love with Flight Simulator in the beginning when I was a kid. You know, I'm like, it was basically a green screen, but like, that's all I did as a kid was just crash planes into buildings. And now look at us. Now look at us. I still got, looks like we still got a good 3.5 minutes before we reach Embol. And then we've probably got another good 10, 15 minutes maybe before we hit Ebdex, which will be the first waypoint in our approach. So we're getting close. So I was a terrorist as a kid. Yeah, pretty much. That's probably, my mom would say that's a fair, fair description for sure.
Gander Center Vision Jet November.
For sure.
Bravo Echo 5,000 feet. Vision Jet November 1 Victor 1 Bravo Echo Gander Center altimeter 29.75 radar contact. Continue to Embol.
2975. We should already be there. Pretty close. 2976. Just because we're getting close to our approach, I want to make sure that that's good and set. I believe the term bull in a china shop was the one she used the most. All right, let's see. Fuel looks good. You can also, I think this shows you fuel. Yeah, fuel remaining here. We should be good. They really padded a bit extra in sim brief than I thought. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. They're really bringing us down early. All right, there we go. Get that descent started. I promise we're not going to crash into the ocean. Ignore all those low fuels warnings. That's why I was checking. I knew those were coming soon. That's why I make sure that our fuel per hour burn looked good, which it did. We were well above where we should be, or well under, I should say, what we should be. Or not should be, but we were well under anything worrying for sure.
Transition cleared to FDAX Vision Jet 1 Bravo Echo.
All right, we can see our landing runway, or at least maybe not our runway, but we can see our landing airport right ahead of us. We can see a runway ahead of us. All right, looks like we are headed to Ebdex. It's nice that they're actually following our flight plan today. A lot of times I'll get this close and they'll send me somewhere completely different. I do have Farm Sim 25. Yes, that's another what I've been thinking about. I've been thinking about streaming as well. Kind of really want to do like a rags to riches thing. I'm thinking. I'm not. I'm on Xbox Series X. I want to be on PC so bad. It's really that's one of my big purchases coming up. Because we're missing out. I'm missing out on so much on PC. Even in Flight Simulator, like there's so much more we could be doing in this stream if I was on PC. Having VATSIM, like there's just so much you miss out on by being on console. All right, let's see what we got coming up here. So right over here is our airport. Very, very tiny airport. Short runway. Probably use full flaps on this one. I think we're going to come around the other end here. And basically, pretty sure we're going to come around. We're going to make our approach for this end of the runway here, coming in this way. Based on what I'm seeing here on the map. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That'd be a lot of fun. I do have Discord. I don't have like my own channel or anything, but I do have Discord. I'm not a stranger to Discord, let's put it that way. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. What's your name? Perfect. Right after this stream, I will definitely send you an invite. I just don't want to put it through the chat or through the stream, just because it's a very different screen name than I usually go by, and yeah, just let's just say it definitely has to be a DM thing. Excuse me. That flu cough has just been sticking around, man. I can't get for weeks now. I've been able to get rid of that. All right, looks like we're gonna get some topography here. I always get a little worried just because ATC, the normal base ATC in the game here is pretty dumb. It doesn't always steer you clear of obstacles like mountains. Same thing goes for the GPS. It's supposed to avoid things like that, but it's kind of dumb. Looks like we should be good though. So this map you're looking at right here, this guy is showing us altitude, or showing us, I'm sorry, topography basically in a relative manner. So this is basically how dangerous it is to us, like literally relative to our current level from the ground. So anything in blue is not too bad. Green even is okay, but that's getting a little bit more worrisome. Yeah, so this is definitely starting to tell me. Usually this is all black, so this is starting to tell me that we're definitely running into some rough land here.
Vision Jet 1 Bravo Echo.
So it looks like ATC is going to glitch out on us like it usually does when we go to a towerless airport. Looks like when we land, we're not going to get any direction or any sort of direction to parking. So we will just exit the runway, and that will basically be where we'll end this time. All right, so we see these little dotted lines here. That is our localizer, so that's telling us that we can turn on our approach mode because it sees the localizer. We're also low enough that we can see here that our glide scope, the diamond is up nice and high, so that we should be low enough where that'll catch us. Glide scope is armed, we can see that here. Localizer is armed, we can see that here. And once this broken line, see how we're kind of flying towards that broken line? Once that gets closer to the center here, localizer should basically switch over from FMS. And then that will start taking control of the airplane and basically keep us guided directly towards the center of the, the center of the runway, I want to say. Yeah, you see that? Like super. We survived, but GPS and ATC is kind of dumb. Like constantly run into this situation in this game where you're coming in for an approach and there's just a mountain in the middle of your path. Then ATC is still like, could you please excel your descent to, no, I'm not, I'm going to run into a mountain. No. Hobie Pilot 18, do a loop. Oh, I would, but we're just coming in for a landing right now. I don't want to ruin an hour-long flight by just smashing into the ground right at the end. I'll take that as a viewer request flight, though. Let's do it. I'll do a video where we're just doing stunts all day. Let's do it. Let's see what this Vision Jet can really do. It's got a parachute. Fuck it. I really need to get my hands back, get my hands on 2024 again. So, like I said, then we can actually we can even pull the caps in the middle of the flight if we want. That'd be fun. Maybe I could probably see if I could even make that somehow a chat command for you guys. Oh, I did say, did I say glide slope? Oh my god, dude, I do that all the time. Glide scope. But it's a slope, right? Like, same thing. Who cares? I do that all the time, dude. All the time. And auto throttle, that's another one for some reason I can't ever say correctly the first time. I always gotta slow myself down and say it a second time for some reason. All right, looks like we are going down. Drop our gear, drop some flaps. Yeah, we can probably turn off. We were out of the clouds. Is it really slope? Oh my god, have I been... yeah, no way. Okay, alright then. Glide path and glide slope. Okay, so it is glide slope. Alright. I have been playing Wordle, basically, with those two words. Slope and scope. Finally we now know. Thank you, man. I really do appreciate that. Glide slope. I was just assuming I was saying it wrong. Oh, I have. Listen, you don't want to open up this wormhole, okay? I will have DMs for days for you. You do not understand. I am obsessed. Well, nervous now. I got CFI watching was going to be an absolutely horrific approach, I'm sure. I wish this would let me clear out cast messages too. It drives me nuts. I really miss the 2024 version of this plane. I know on the Real Vision Jet things get a little screwy around 500 feet RA. I believe this isn't. This kind of does too. It doesn't completely disconnect or anything, but it gets a little screwy still. Some wind gusts there. Not too worried about fuel. We have more than enough. Yikes, I'm getting pushed around here quite a bit. Alright, like I said, see, things get a little screwy around 500, 400, so I might let it. I might come in a little bit closer, but I'm definitely going to take this over here pretty soon. For nothing else, a little bit more stability. All right, there we go. All right, I have control of the plane. Ooh, that was horrible. But we're on the ground. That's why we're saying flight sim. This plane's going down. Might be in the grass, but it's going down. All right, I think you do about face here. Yep, looks like it. All right. Come on, sweetheart. You can do it. Pick up. There we go. So it looks like ATC is glitched out on us, so... Oops, I'm going a little fast. That's what I get for not paying attention. All right, so since ATC probably not going to give us directions to parking, we may just end this here.
Charlie Yankee Juliet Tango traffic vision jet November 1 Victor 1 Bravo Echo is clear of the runway.
Yeah, so looks like that's what ATC has given us, so unfortunately. Just want to say I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me and chatting with me today during today's flight. Like I said, it's usually very, very quiet, so I appreciate you guys hanging out in the chat room with me. You guys like what you saw, please follow, leave a like. Be happy to do the same, follow you back. Definitely appreciate you being here. Next flight, I want to say we're finally making our Atlantic crossing out of Canada and into Greenland, I want to say, starting our trip over to Europe. So yeah, catch us next time. Again, like us, follow us. Best way to get notifications for the next live stream.